Hello and welcome everyone. I am Linda Israel and thank you so very much for being here at my live stream on YouTube. I go live every Monday at 3:45 p.m. Central Standard Time unless I'm on vacation or something else comes up, but generally I'm live or I have a premiere video that you can come and watch. If you're watching this as a replay after the live stream has ended and you're on a computer, you can look for the little gear at the bottom of the screen and change the speed. If you're on a mobile device, generally the three little dots at the top, you can use those to change the playback speed to get through it a little faster, because generally my live streams last around 2 to 2.5 hours. I want to thank Robin for being my moderator and administrator and note taker throughout the live stream. She is generally my one right hand woman, if you will, and I am so thankful to have her. She also is an administrator of the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group. Occasionally, if she's not available, one of the other administrators will come over and help me, or a friend will help me moderate the video today. If you have questions, please feel free to put those in all caps and I'll do my best to answer those questions. If I don't see it, please ask again. Or if you know the answer to somebody's question, please answer it. Hey, if you have a YouTube channel, please feel free to share with us by saying, hey, I have a YouTube channel and this is what I do on it. You won't be able to share a link, but you can at least talk about your YouTube channel. Let's keep the chat upbeat, friendly, and helpful. If you are having a great day, let us know. But honestly, we don't want the negative, what is going on in the world right now, because we are here to escape that, to be inspired, to be friendly, and have some fun. During the live stream, you have an opportunity to earn junk bucks. You can type !bucks to see how many that you have once Junkie Joe is up, because this is preliminary and I've pre-recorded this. Once you have 2,000 junk bucks, you can redeem those by typing a word and you can get a $10 off coupon to my shop. How do you earn junk bucks? Just by being here, chatting with us. So make sure that you speak up in the chat so that Junkie Joe registers that you're here, and by playing the in-chat games, and then also whenever you make donations. Occasionally I have raffles. In fact, right now there should be Junkie Joe coming up. You can type !raffle just as that says, and you can enter the raffle to win 200 junk bucks. If you make a donation during my live stream, do go over to my website at lindaisrael.com. You can see the name scrolling across the bottom here, and create a user account. Once you've created a user account on my website, make sure that you use the contact me form and say, hey, my name is on YouTube and I donated, and then I can get you added to the YouTube donator membership on my website. What does that do? Well, a member of my website in the YouTube donator membership gets 5% off orders in my shop, gets several digital downloads for free, and during the live stream when you donate, you get a chance to win the journal that I raffle off at the very end. Throughout the live stream, I will have different raffles giving away prizes. If you will type !raffle when you see those come up, then you can have a chance to win those items. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Thank you so much for being here today. When the video is over, come back and leave a comment. Tell me what you liked about today's video, or if you have questions and you're watching this as a replay, use that comment section down below. Also, look in the description box to links to the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, as well as by Linda Israel, my Instagram, Twitter, my website, and generally I try to update the products that I use, and those links are in the description box as well. All right, well, let's get started. I just realized I didn't have my mic on, and so you wouldn't be able to hear me because it was down in the case. So I hope you can hear me. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everybody? I hope you are well. I hope you've had a fabulous week. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. Hey, Linda. Hey, Leah, Julie, Ruby, Robin. I think I saw Maria Jo, sorry, and the Mrs. Edmondson, of course, Robin, and Norma. Hello, 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 Julie. Is everybody here? Can y'all hear me? Uh-oh, your tablet doesn't like your predictive text, right? I'm so glad that you're here today. It's hot. It's getting hot, hot, hot here. Henry's reminding me this morning, turn everything off while you're here today because the rate for the electricity is going to be really high. So I was like, oh no. I am going to do some gel printing, maybe some mixed media stuff. I don't know. We're just going to play. That was my goal. I had some leftover bits from making the Blue Bonnets journal last week, which was a planner / journal. And so I spent a little bit of time yesterday because that was basically my only day off this past week. And I made this journal. So I will show you really quickly what I have done here. So I've done some collaging. I use some of my gel prints. This is some of my handmade paper, stencils. This is another one of my mixed media papers. I had a gel print here that I used in the background and I just kind of ripped a page. I used some of the printed papers that I had already, and then this was just some copyweight paper. Love the blue bonnet. Isn't it gorgeous, Leah? And then over here I've got just some layers of cards. This is some coffee dyed paper in the background. I need to dye some more. I haven't spent the time to do it. I need to order some more plain paper, text weight paper. This was just a piece of cardstock that I stamped and used the henna rose and the sketched wildflowers and some cheesecloth. Here I just kind of collaged some different papers. This is one of the papers that I printed as a smaller page, and so it has a little bit of a gap, if you will, and then I added a little bit of some lace on the edge. It's some stenciling, and I can't remember if it was you, Jennifer, or if it was Morgan who commented on this butterfly, and I stamped it so that you could see it on this side and then on the other page on the other side. Did some stamping here. So I've just got a cute little journal that I'm going to give away. This was a clothing tag that I had, and I just covered it so it's kind of heavier chipboard, if you will. How is everybody? Hope you're well. Some more just journaling, some scrapbook paper I had in my stash. This one was kind of interesting. I had this scrap left over, which was probably, 2.5 inches wide, and I thought, I wonder, and so I ended up gluing another piece of paper to it, and then I glued another piece on the other side, and when I did, I made sure to leave a gap so that things could tuck in side of it. And over here, this was another one of the journal pages that I had printed, but I didn't use, so I trimmed it to be a little bit smaller and then cut it in half, so it would have normally been a full page, and then that kind of fit inside here. I don't know, it was just something different. Yeah, the premium digital paper does work so much better, and I need to buy some more of that. And Morgan's not here today yet. Another one of the pages, I did put some charms in here. I had some time, so I put some charms in there. And then here's another. And this was a piece of scrapbook paper that I stamped and stenciled on and made a little tiny postcard to put in here. Oh, I forgot to show you this side, which was this little thing, which was one of Norella's images that I backed with another piece of paper. This is just a piece of cardstock. And this is an envelope. I don't know if you can see the envelope portion of it. And this is the flax rubber stamp. And then on the inside of the envelope, I just put a journal card. And on the back side of the envelope, I just stamped it a couple of times.
And then that just fits right in here. What else? Oh, some of those stickers, I had a couple of those stickers left over, so I put those in here. So they're kind of 3D, but they go flat, so you don't have to worry about it adding bulk to the journal. This was one of the elements that comes in the kit, and I made it as it shows as a little pocket. And then I had another clothing tag that I used some of the scraps that were laying on my desk to just kind of collage over it and left some journaling space there. Scrapbook paper. This is where I sprayed with Tattered Angels, and the little lady in the box started speaking. This was some metallic paper that I had in my stash, and I just cut a little strip to put on the edge. This was a scrap that was left over. So again, I was just trying to use up the things that I had laying on my desk. This paper is dyed using Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. So I basically put some Tattered Angels in some water, and then I soaked my paper in it. And it's really interesting because it has kind of an iridescent sheen to it. It's not real dark, but it's just kind of interesting how that turned out. Here's the other half, that butterfly. Sheet music where I layered. This is some fabric that I had in my stash. Another little pocket with a journal card. More of the papers. Here I did something a little different. I collaged on the page, and I made this pocket using one of the journal pages. Then I had this piece that was left over in my stash, and I made it as a pocket to kind of fill the space. And then I put just a simple journal card in this long, skinny little hole here. I was going to show you on the page that this is just right in here at the very top. That way, you know, we're always adding pockets at the bottom, but I thought that would be kind of interesting to add a pocket at the top. No, I did not do a tutorial. I haven't had time. This is another piece of paper that, oh, I know what it was. Every time I get my instant ink, I get a card that's like, you know, thank you for using instant ink, and don't forget to send stuff back. Thank you, Robin. And so I just covered it with a book page, and then I just kind of collaged a few other pieces over the top of it so that I could have additional writing space in this journal. Another little journal card here. And I stamped it, this journal made by, and I finished it officially today. I did a different closure. I took that label punch and pushed it over the page, and then I took my slot punch, or my ID slot punch, and punched a hole, and then I zigzag stitched on the fabric so that this can stay nice and tight. Oh, well, you just got notified. It was a little late. You're already here. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad it works now, Lori. Thank you for being here. So this will be the journal at the end of the live stream if we get to our donation goal. I don't know. I just thought I would play a little bit. I do plan to make the Gothic themed journal, and these are some of the colors, kind of the reds and the black and the sepia tones. So I wanted to make some papers that I thought would kind of go with maybe a little bit. So I'm going to grab some stencils here somewhere. Here we go. Is this it? Oh, okay. And I didn't know that I had not done it yet. I am getting ready to mail out some stencil clubs. So I didn't have September or October represented on my website until today. Oopsie. I've been so busy. But Henry got them made for me yesterday. And so these are the newest stencils that I will have in the stencil club. And I'm thinking maybe we'll do this stencil. I can't remember if I got all the bits cleaned out of it yet. I kind of was playing with it. I might have gotten them all out. Now my nose itches. All right, so let's put this over here. And I think what I want to do is, do I want to do red? I think I want to do red. So I'm going to kind of put it in the middle. That's what I'm going to do. And get my red paint. I have a little bit on my palette that I was playing with earlier. So I'm going to put that on here. Okay. So how is everybody? I hope you're well. I hope you had a great week. I've been busy. I now work full-time with my husband. He allows me to have Monday with you guys and gals so I can share a little bit of creative time with you. So I appreciate y'all hanging out with me for the day. All right, clean off my brayer. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just going to clean off a couple of tools here so I'll have them ready. All right, so I've just brayered over and added a little bit of red to that. So now I'm going to put my stencil into a tub of water that I have over here to the side. And I will clean those later when I get done. All right, so what do we want to do? I think it doesn't take very long for this to dry because of the fact that I already had a thin layer. So I'm just going to get some black acrylic paint, and that was just true red that I put down. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me. All right, so I'm going to put a little black down. Kind of come in here and brayer over that. Let's see what happens here. I'm putting very thin coats of paint down. And you don't have to use the whole gel plate. I have some dictionary pages here that I ripped out of a dictionary, so I'm just going to kind of line that up here in the middle. And we'll use my brayer to smush it. This is a 12-inch gel brayer or gel plate, and I'm using a soft rubber brayer. Let's see what it does here. It's no clue how to do Gothic. It's so outside of your comfort zone. Well, I thought it was just kind of a pretty Halloween set. So this came out a lot darker than I wanted. So I think I want to try something else, but it's something, you know. I can do some more layers on top of that. I'll set it aside. I think what I want to do is do that again. Let's pick a different stencil. This one's kind of cute because I basically made flowers that have hearts in them. Can you see the hearts? Why aren't you laying flat? Oh, well, that's why. There was a hanging chad. And I think what I want to do this time is I'm going to put the black down first. I got a hanging chad booger of a paint blob. All right, let's kind of brayer that at. It'll be a lighter shade because I'm really going thin here. Okay, so lift this up. So I have a little bit of a pattern in the background. Clean that one off. Give that a second to dry. Well, they could do shimmer. Why not? There could be shimmer and Gothic. It's usually a little bit more macabre and darker colors, but I'm trying to stay with a little bit of the red and black. Let's see how this turns out. What should, oh, I don't want to keep brayering it because I'm going to lift the paint. This should make that black a little darker with the red on top. Let's see what happens. You know, part of gel printing is just experimenting and having fun. And you know what? If it doesn't turn out, it costs very little. It was just a little bit of my time and a little bit of acrylic paint and some book pages in this case. So it's not like it's expensive if you had something. Could you do black and white pages to mix up the page? Yeah. So this one is got the black first and then the red. I think that turned out better I think that's what I like for this part of that. So now I've got some pages that I painted white. Let's get the stencil. I think, okay, there's not any hanging chads on this one that I can see, but I'm going to make sure. Yep, I see one. Sometimes when you get the stencils, they may have little pieces. You should be able to just pop them out. Sometimes when Henry does it, he gets a little impatient, so he just kind of shakes them real fast and moves on, and I don't blame him because it takes time. Okay, I think I got most of those. All right, so I'm going to lay that in the middle. And I'm going to do black again. And I'm going to put a little extra paint because I'm going to do this a little bit differently this time. Come in here quickly and spread this paint around. And I'm okay if it's kind of grungy looking. I'm going to lift this, put that in the water, and then I've painted some paper just with white paint. So I'm just going to lay that down and then pick up this pattern. And maybe that's what I need to do, is more of these black and whites, and then I can come back in and spray them with different shades of red Tattered Angels. Oh, I like the way this one turned out. So basically all I did was I took a book page, and before the live stream, I did several of them. I just painted them with my brayer so that I would have some white background over the top of that text weight, so it kind of mutes it just a little bit. And then I did the black, so I thought that kind of did cool. Yeah? So let's get a different stencil. Move this out of the way. Let's go into the October Stencil Club. This one's kind of interesting. Kind of looks like little tiles. So we did black. Let's just do only red. So I'm going to get a little bit of red here. Let's see how this works. I'm really smooshing that down into the stencil. Okay. Prayer. Clean off. Thank you so much, Linda, for your donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, then I'm going to lift the stencil, pop that into my water, and I'm going to grab another page that I painted earlier and lay that on top and see how this turns out. I wanted some pages so that I could make some pockets and tags and just make it, you know, my own touch. Okay, I have enough paint on here that I might be able to do this again. Ooh, I like that red. Isn't that pretty? How that turned out. You missed it. Don't be missing it. Okay, this was red, and then this one was doing the black on a page that was painted white. They have not been shown yet, Ashley. It is going to be a Christmas kit. Norella's working on the graphics right now. And in fact, she has a, oh, hey, Morgan. She has a snippet that she shared where she's editing one of the drawings that I made to use it as a background. All right, so this has got red in the background. You know, I haven't done gold in a while, and I think that's what I want to do, is a little bit of gold. So we're going to brayer this out. You use a really light hand. You want it to go across quickly and cover, but you don't want to keep brayering it so that it lifts your paint before you can put your page down. I'm going to use just a regular page. Okay. I think it was in the Facebook group. She may have shared it in the Friendly Junk Journal People Facebook group, I think. I don't think she shared it in her Calico Collage, but it's possible that she did, that she's showing one of my drawn stencil designs and how she manipulates it. So that is the red with the gold behind it. So it's got that metallic look to it. So it's interesting, you know, how we got a second print and how different it can look just by changing a little bit of color. I think I want to grab, I've got, is this a brown? I have a burnt umber. I was trying to see if there was another. I don't have a whole lot of brown colors. Oh, here's a lighter brown, so maybe we'll use that. Okay, so let's get another stencil. Let's see here. I'm just going to get all the stencils out today, right? So here's another stencil. Oh, I see a hanging Chad. Pop that out. You don't want them to stick to your gel plate, so I'm just kind of removing these little pieces. And already I'm running out of room here on my desk. That's usually how it goes, right? All right, I'm going to lay that in here. And I was thinking, there's another hanging Chad. Okay. Got a little piece that didn't want to come free. There we go. All right, what color do I want to do? I want to do a darker brown. Let's do a brown. This is burnt umber. So I'm going to put a little bit of that down. Really, this is a thicker paint. It's dark. It's really dark. Oopsie. Come on. I forgot to put my sticky underneath my mat, or not my mat, my quilter's ruler that I have my gel plate on so it wouldn't slide. Oh, look at that. All right, let's give that a second to dry while I clean off my hands. All righty. Now, do I want to put gold behind that? I was going to do a beige color, but I'm kind of thinking maybe a gold would be pretty behind that. Withhold? Gold, okay. Come on, Julie, can you not type? All right, let's put a little bit of gold on here. Let's see what happens. Oh, my paint isn't quite dry, but I'm going to go with it. And I see a little piece. Get that off of there. Okay. Let's grab another page. Just see another hanging Chad there. What do we think? We make some burnt umber in gold. All right, let's peel this back. Got a little bit of paint left. Well, that's kind of pretty. Just a simple little pattern in the background there. Yeah, you'll need some time. Oh, you mean mix it with the gold. Mix them together so you'll get a different color. Well, I still have a little bit on here. I'm going to do this lighter brown. It's called Coffee. So I'm going to add a little bit of that on here. That's not coffee. This is more like a latte. And I put way too much paint on there, but we'll smoosh it all out. Okay. We'll pick this up. And I'm going to grab some extra pages here to kind of put around the edges. Wow, I've already used the book pages that I had torn, ready to go. Kind of cleaning up the gel plate edges by adding papers around the edge. Sometimes those come interesting patterns. I create my own stencils. Thank you so much, Luxury Card Store. I do create my own stencils. I draw the patterns, and then we have a laser, so they are laser cut. I cut them out of a Mylar product. That's a thin blue plastic, if you will. All right, we're just kind of got some of that off. Got a little bit more here. Of course, I had layers and layers because I kept brayering over stuff. Let's put this. I'm running out of space. Let's put it over here. Just kind of cleaning up those edges. Okay. A little bit of a mess down here. Let's see what's going to look like. What's it going to look like? We haven't got there yet. Here we go. Oh, get it out, Ashley. Get it out of the package. Thank you so much, Julie. All right. To go slow. This is an old dictionary, so earlier when I did some stuff, the page was trying to stick. Well, that's kind of a muted little background. Just something, you know, with the browns. All right, so Julie said to mix the paints together. So let me get another stencil here. I'm just using, this is all of October's Stencil Club now that I have used. All right, so we'll put, I won't put as much, but I'll put down some of the burnt umber and a little bit of the gold with it. Okay, I've got a palette knife here. You could blend it off your gel plate or you can blend it on. It kind of depends on what you want. Okay, that'll be cool. Clean that off. Let's brayer this. Get that down in there. I probably could have put a little bit more gold with it, but it'll work for now. Okay, clean the brayer off. Lift this up. It's a neat pattern. I like the way that one turned out. Love the, thank you so much. I'm glad you love the results. They're kind of fun, you know. Sometimes you don't know what you're going to get. And sometimes if you've done it enough, you'll get the same results or near the same. All right, so that was the gold and the burnt umber together. I see a little bit of the shimmer in there. I want to grab my ivory paint, which I'm almost out of. I need to buy another bottle of cream or ivory. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, let's see, it's almost empty. Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Grab a paper towel. It's got a, what they call a paint booger. That's what I call it anyway. When it kind of gets stuck. Sometimes what I'll do is take the lid off and see if I can reach in and get it stuck in here. Okay, see if I get that out of there. The only bad thing about these tops, you know, you're trying to get paint out of them, but they accumulate a little bit, and that creates that little elastic rubber piece. All right, let's paint that in. It should kind of blend that and make that kind of a coffee color. Okay, let's see what we can do. Put that on top. Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Janice. That's so sweet of you. Well, I only have 100 something, not including the individual ones that you get in the Stencil Club, which I feel, you know, I've tried to do a really good job with the Stencil Club. When you're a member of the Stencil Club, you get 4 stencil patterns between 3 stencil sheets, and you get 20% off additional stencil orders. Oh, that turned out kind of cool. You don't quite see the gold in it, but it's interesting, just a different patterning. Hey, Cricket, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so there's still a little bit on here. Let's shift gears. I've got Coral Cove. It's kind of an orangey coral color, and I'm gonna brayer that on. Okay, like this. All right. I think what I want to do is pick up a little of that here in the middle, and then we're going to use these other pages that I had used earlier to kind of clean up the gel plate edges. You get some interesting patterns when you do it. So peachy coral, I don't know what you call it. Okay. That's that a little bit. All right, let's start lifting these up and see what we get. It's kind of an interesting color with that brown under it. Okay. We're getting there a little at a time. Peeling it back. Interesting. It changed the color of it a little bit. Tropical color to you. Yeah, tropical, kind of coral can be. Interesting the way that came together. All right, I think I want some more with black. I'm gonna grab a different. So we've got the June Stencil Club. I don't know, this one's kind of interesting to me. So now, do I want the void in the background? Yeah, I think so. So we're going to do black, another hanging chad. I'm really into the black at the moment. It's got another booger. Yuck. Now I got paint all over me. Dang it. Okay. Why are you doing this to me? Come on now. All right, so let's keep going. Brayering. All right, we'll let that dry for a moment. That's kind of interesting. Beautiful fall leaves. Yeah, I've got a fall one. Pick out the boogers. You need to get a bigger plate. I like the 12 by 12 plate. It is one of my favorite sizes because I can use it, you know, to print big pages if I want. It just kind of depends upon, you know, what I'm working on. Come on, computer. That's what happened. Okay. Hey, Rhonda, welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so we did black. I think I want to, oh, I was going to print that right away, but I changed my mind. Okay, let's do this. I've got orange. Let's do orange. Let's see what happens. Blob here. Thank you, Cricket, for your donation. Thank you, Robin and Jennifer and Linda and Morgan. I greatly appreciate y'all's support. So I've got a little bit of orange. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we get. Okay, let's see what we get here. You haven't tried using them this way, Robin? It's one of my favorite ways to do it. So the paint was still a little wet, so we kind of get, you know, a muted effect, but it's really bright orange and black. Let's put that up there. Oh, we still have a little bit on the plate. What do I want to do? Let's do an ivory. Okay. Still some wet paint on there. All right, let's grab another. Okay. I'm just grabbing that paint around the edges. Okay. Hey, Dina, welcome. So glad you could be here today. I'm just kind of playing around on my gel plate, using some of my stencils, just kind of seeing what comes together. Sometimes they're absolutely gorgeous, and sometimes they're an epic fail, but you know we learn each time we do something. Okay. All right. Kind of cleaned up those edges a little bit. So put that back over here. Okay, let's lift. Let's lift. Let's see what we get. That's kind of interesting how it's real grungy looking. That's cool. All right, so let's do something different. It's time to change colors, I think. All right, so I'm going to lay this down. And let's see, what do I want? Oh, I've got a green. Okay. Let's do a little bit of green. I've got a light turquoise. And I've got a pale, what is this, morning blue. If you like it for fall, that was a good one. All right, so I'm just going to kind of Okay, so this is still wet. So I'm going to grab one of my other pages that I had painted white and lay that on the back. Okay. So we should get a little bit of that brown with these other colors. So let's see what we get. Oh, some of it stayed on there. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's got a little bit of a grungy effect with it. Kind of pastel. Okay, so let's do that again, but let's do it with different colors. So I'm going to do it with the orange and maybe this green. And I think we're still going to go with that blue. Let's pick a different stencil. I'm just pulling them out of each month that I have here. All right, so we're going to get a layered effect because of that other pattern under there, but I think that's okay. Well, that's what I want to do. All right, so I'm going to put, this time this is leaf green. So where do I want that? I think kind of in the middle. Try not to do too much. A little bit of this coral. And then a little bit of that morning blue at the top. Thank you, Sherry, for your donation. Thank you, thank you. All right, so I'm going to start with this green going across the bottom here. Kind of brayer off every once in a while. Blend those together. Okay. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to grab another one of my white pages that I made earlier. Put that on the back. My stencils range around $12.99, or if you get the Stencil Club, you get the set of 3 stencils with 4 different patterns for $19.99 a month, and you can cancel at any time. And then any additional stencil that you want, you can get for 20% off. Now, this is kind of cool looking. What's that? A little bit different. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. Oh, it's time. Y'all enter the raffle if you haven't already. This is to get 200 junk bucks, and what that does is helps you get closer to getting a $10 off coupon in my shop. All right, so let's get the next stencil out. Lay that down. All right, so we did a green and that orangey color. I'm trying to think what, oh, I know what I need. I need kind of a yellow, right? But I don't want a bright yellow. I want something that's kind of a, I don't know, a marigold maybe. I got light flesh. I might use that one. Let's see. I've moved some of my paints around, so I'm trying to use up more of them. Okay, this one is called Antique Gold. You like the 3 colors together? Thank you. Thank you, Janice. All right, so let's do the coral and antique gold, and I think I'm going to go with a light brown, so this coffee color. Sunflower. Yeah, sunflower would be a good color. And I've got coral, and this may be old paint, so we'll see what happens. Ooh, got a few crusty bits there. Okay. 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 Like that. Okay. I just had a towel in my lap. There it goes. I keep dropping it. Okay. I probably should have painted more papers white for this technique. I guess I could do some without it being white, but I kind of like that look. And you don't have to wait as long if you paint your papers before you gel print them, because you got to wait for the layers to dry. All right. Oh, that's kind of cool. What do you think of that? All right, it's time for a drink. I need some water. It's plastic. It is a quilt. It's called Omni Grid. It's a quilter's plastic thing. I do quilting as well, but here recently I haven't been quilting as much, so I thought, hey, that fits under my 12 by 12, so I'm using it. I have a glass mat too, but I don't know if it has it on there right now. No, it doesn't. I have a glass mat that I use with my 8 by 10. You like that? Oh, I guess I rotated my... I kind of liked the way that one turned out. That's kind of cool. All right, so we're kind of getting some fall colors. I've kind of gotten away from that gothic feel though, right? I may need to clean my gel plate, so let's do something else here. So this one is also from the July Stencil Club, where you get 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns, but 1, 2, 3 stencils. So this is the half sheet that you get that has 2 different patterns on there. Okay, you like that, Lisa? Thank you so much. How did everybody come to find me today? Are you longtime friends and followers? Are y'all brand new? Y'all into the raffle? We're about ready. Let's do a little bit of green. And I'm going to do this orangey color, coral color again, and use the yellow. Kind of blend those together. Okay, so let's see what this looks like if I just put it direct on a book page that has not been painted yet. You know, another technique you could do is you could lay your stencil over that, your paper over the stencil. You're going to get a whole different look. Maybe I'll do that the next time, just to show y'all. Okay. That's kind of cool how that one turned out. I like it. Ah, when you wanted to increase your stencil, long time groupie, long timer. Oh yeah, raffle. All right, y'all do the raffle. The last one with the flowers, you like that one? Ah, background ideas. Gotcha. Okay, so let's pick a winner. This person's going to get 200 junk pucks, and that winner is Amanda Dawn. Congratulations. All right, we're going to reset that. And I don't want to get paint on it, so we'll do this. Okay. 2 notes, journal, cards. So I started making these last week for the Bluebonnets kit, and I didn't end up using them. I didn't finish them, but I decided to finish them, and I would give them away as a prize today. So this is where I cut a paper sack, and this is like where the gusset on the side of the paper sack is, and it, to me, just made an automatic journal card. So I ended up putting some washi tape down the side. I put glue under it so it would stick. I have a book page, dictionary page. I have a piece of lace. I have one of Norella's images. This is a rubber stamp notes, and then a piece of denim back here. So they're just a couple of little long, skinny journal cards that I'm going to pass along to our winner today. All right, so this time, I think what I want to do is I'm going to put down the same colors on the plate, and then I'll put my stencil down. Okay. Am I still on screen? It's sliding, so I get off the screen a little bit. All right. I keep playing in the paint. I don't mean to. All right, let's pick a different stencil. Oh, let's go back to, let's go to February. I think we're going to use this one out of the February Stencil Club. I got a mess going on behind me. So I'm going to lay that down in the paint. I'm going to grab a book page. I'm going to lay that on top of the stencil. And then I'm going to brayer this. Okay. So that just picked up in the voids. What do you think? Kind of fun background. All right, so we still have a little bit of paint on here. I think, let's do this. I'm going to grab the gold if I can find it. Put some gold in here. Hey, and Chad. All right, I'm going to peel this off. And we're going to let that dry for a moment. I'm going to put my stencil in the water. You like that, Kathy? Thank you. Thank you. I thought that one was kind of pretty, how that turned out. All right. I'm going to have every stencil in my stash used, I think, today. All right, so we're letting that dry for a moment. Y'all into the raffle if you haven't already. Move that over. Slide on over. Okay. Let's give that a moment to dry. This is really wet up here. I think what I may do is grab, this is my glass plate. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know if I want my big gel plate. I'll do the smaller one. Let's do that. So I'm getting out my 5x7 gel plate. I just laid that onto my glass mat that is just about wore out. And I'm going to set this aside so it can dry for a moment. And I'm going to do a different technique. This is where I'm going to take a rubber stamp. This is called Corner Roses, and I've got some black archival ink. And I'm just going to stamp this. You can use Stays On ink, the archival ink. You want a permanent ink. You don't want one that is water reactive, because we're going to layer paint on top of this. And if you have, you know, like a distressing ink pad, then it will smear. So you want to do that. Oh, thank you, Kathy, for your donation. All right, so I just stamped that all over, okay? Give it a moment to dry. Usually by the time you pick out your paint colors, it's dry. Since we're kind of doing that green, orange, and yellow colors, let's kind of do that again. So I'm going to put a little bit of yellow, which is probably more paint than I need, so I don't need very much. So I'm just doing a little bitty bit and a little bit of green. Okay. And then we're going to just brayer this back and forth. Okay. I've got too much paint, so I'm just kind of lifting it with my brayer. All right, I think that'll be good. All right, let me grab a book page, put that over, give it a moment. Okay. What was the questions? There are 4 different patterns and 3 stencil sheets. I'd love to see them. Share them with us, Julie. We'd love to see them. You get 3 stencil sheets with 4 different patterns. 2 of them are a full sheet, and 1 of them is a half sheet of 2 different patterns, but it's connected together. At first, I was going to not connect them all together, and it worked out better just to leave them together. So that's kind of interesting how that, you see the pattern in there? And I also cleaned my gel plate just a little bit. I think I want to do that again, but I'm going to clean off my plate. Okay, let's stamp it again. I do have a couple of masks, Julie. It's difficult to make some masks to get them to work because you got to think how to get that negative space. But I do have a few masks. They're not called masks in my shop. They're just called stencils, so it kind of depends upon what it is. All right, so let that dry for a moment. I'm going to let that dry, and we're going to come back to this one that I stenciled with the paint, removing the paint, put gold on top. So now I need to put something down to lift it. So I'm just going to grab some white paint. It won't change the other colors. It keeps them nice and bright. So if you're ever working with something and you're like, why isn't this working? Well, maybe you need to do a white on the back instead of a different color. I'm just determined to get these little paint boogers out. Shake it some more. All right, let's see if this works better. Oop, that's a lot of paint. All right, so this should be plenty dry underneath. We're adding this layer of paint to reactivate it so it will lift when we put our paper on here. Sometimes I put a little too much paint, so I'm just kind of lifting a little bit. I'm going to grab the book page, put that right in the middle here, and we'll grab my other pages I was using around the edge, just to kind of pick up some of that. You love that technique? Well, thank you. It's a fun technique to stamp on your plate and see what comes out. Just kind of cleaning up the edges just a little bit. All right, let's see what we get. That's interesting. So it looks so different from when we stenciled and pulled it. You get that gold effect in there. I sell them as a digital, usually, is how I offer them. All right, so let's go back to this one. All right, so we did the green and the peach, but I think I need a different color combo. That green and yellow. I want a different shade of yellow, I think. These are some of my old paints. We did yellow. I'm thinking maybe this kind of a tealy, turquoisey color would be good. And we'd go back with this coral. And I have a different shade of yellow here, but there's not any in that one. What is this one? That one's also antique gold. I wonder if it's any good. It's been in here for a while. Do you like that one? All right. Oh, that one's dried up. That's going in the trash. Okay. Okay, well, I guess we'll put this back. I don't know. I've kind of tried to decide. I think I'm going to do this. Let's do this kind of a peachy color. And let's do kind of a turquoisey color. Got a little bit too much paint, so I'm just kind of lifting some of it off. Okay, let's grab a book page. And let's see what we get. I use the Archival ink, Jet Black. You could also use Stays On ink. You want a permanent ink. Yeah, sometimes I give gel prints away, but I have some digital ones that you can download in my shop. I'll scan them into my computer and then put them up. I usually use them. Okay. Let's see what we get. That's kind of an interesting look too. Look at that one. You like that one? I got my gel plate clean. I think I'm going to do another. I'm having fun with that one. You like it? All right, I'm going to try to clean off the excess paint here. Okay. Add a little bit of water. Okay, just trying to get some of that stuff off, the crusty bits. Stamp it again. Just kind of rotating my stamp to get different directions. Okay, give that a moment to dry. All right, so we've got a pretty good mess going on over here. What do we want to do now? Let me grab, well, I haven't used this one in a while. This is the Victorian panel stencil. Okay. A little bit of paper left here. All right, Victorian panel stencil. We're going to get some grunginess underneath there. So I think I want to do black on this one. So kind of fill in. And I did a really thin layer of black, so it should dry really fast. So We'll peel that off. And then we'll get some white paint. Print your own bit. There you go. The rose stencils. Okay, let me pull those. Give me just a moment. Let's put this white on here. I got too much paint again. I keep doing that with that bottle, but we'll get it. Okay. I've got the ribbon rose, and then I think the other one's little roses. I can't remember what that one was called. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, this one's kind of cool looking. Got some crusty bits under there. Kind of made it a muted pattern. What do you think? All right. Have fun. See you later. Okay, let's see. That's what it matters. Okay, you want to see the rose stencils. Let me see if I can pull those out. That's not them. Circle. Dog. I think they're in here, but we'll see. Okay. Got the Baroque, boxed flowers, feeding frenzy. Here's the ribbon rose. So we'll get that one out. And here is the small rose stencil. Okay. Your luck! I had them in the right file folder. Okay, let's put that back over here. I need some more hand lotion. Yeah, your words will be backwards, exactly. You love the Bella Rose. All right, let's move that out of the way. So let's do the ribbon rose. All right, so for our ribbon rose, since we're kind of doing these colors, I'm going to use this turquoise. That's what color my rose will be, and that's way too much paint. Okay. All right. Now, if I quick pull that off, and I've got a page, I got one left that I painted white earlier. Okay. There is the ribbon rose. What do you think of that? All right, still got a little bit in the background. which I think will be fine. Let's do that coral. And I'll do a little bit of this blue. Okay. Just kind of mixing that blue and that coral together. All right, let's peel this off. And I'm out of painted pages, so I'm just going to grab a plain page and lay that down. Yeah, the Ribbon Rose is a very delicate stencil. If you're careful with it, it'll last you a long time. I think I've had mine since I designed it. I haven't replaced it yet. Okay. It may not show up as well because my paper wasn't pre-painted, but you kind of see the pattern there, don't you? Get a wide brayer. Yeah, that wide brayer might be a good way. All right, let's go back to this one that I stamped earlier. All right, so we did this color scheme and we did that color scheme. I got out a really dark purple, but I think it would be too dark. So what if I've got a hyacinth is a real light color. All right, so I'm gonna make sure there's not any crusty bits coming off my bottle. You know, pull that piece off, you know. So just do a little bit of that. I'm gonna do a little bit of this turquoise and a little bit of this blue. Okay, I think there's a hair. I can't get it. I'm not gonna worry about it. All right. Right. Oh, good job. Yeah, you do. Yeah, it makes a difference painting the book page first. It also saves you a little bit of time in that if you're waiting on your gel plate to dry before you put the next layer of paint down. All right, let's see how this comes out. Oh, I like that. What do you think? Got a little bit of that purpley at the edge and then the blue and then that green color. Woohoo! You got it! You made it! All right, I think I'm kind of stuck on this. I want to do some more. And you do these in so many different colorways that you could have a whole variety of papers that you could use. All right, I'm gonna let that dry for a moment. Let's go back over here. All right, what do I want to put on here now? Let's see what we've got. Oh, that's where that stencil goes that I couldn't find. All right, y'all were asking me, I don't know, a week ago where this stencil came from. This stencil pattern. And it's from the March Stencil Club. I finally found the file folder that it went to. All right, so what do I want to do this time? I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to put just a little bit of paint. Okay, just in one little corner. I'll do this corner too, why not? I'm going to lift that up and get rid of the stencil. And I saw, this is called the grid stencil. So I'm just going to kind of lay it down and do a little bit of purple. I think it's hyacinth. And let's do this corner. All right. So we're kind of just getting different patterns across the page, different quadrants. Yeah, don't use a heat tool on your, don't ever use a heat tool to dry on your gel plate. I have a ceiling fan going, so I'll just let it air dry and go with it that way. You can use a hand fan or a little battery operated fan, but don't use heat because you can melt it. So don't use heat on here, okay? All right, so I've got a little space right in here. Oh, I know what I want to do. Where is it? Is it in this? No, it's up here. I've got my diamond bar stencil, and I did have some gold paint over here to the side, so let's see if I can reactivate it a little bit. It may not be wet enough. No, okay, let's put some gold paint. So I've got some gold paint. I've got a Tim Holtz sponge dauber. I've got a little palette. So I'm just going to use this as my ink pad. Now, if you use acrylic paint on your stamps, you want to work quickly, and then you're going to want to wash your stamp as quick as you can. I had a little bit of water on my dauber, so it's kind of mushy. Okay. And let's put it this way. And maybe right here. Okay. And then I'm just going to take my whole stamp and kind of dunk it into this water that I have over here to the side. And then I've got this is my shop rag, if you will. It's got all kinds of paint on it. So I'm just going to rub on my stamp. And you're going to see I've got paint down in between. But the idea is you want to get it off of the stamping surface, okay? And then my dauber, I'll just kind of daub off onto a paper. It had a lot of water in it. And then I'll stick it into my water and kind of pounce it. And then I'll use my same little towel. Kind of just do that till I see that it's pretty much clean so I can use it again if I want. Get a drink. Yeah, don't put too, just put small amounts of paint. Yeah, second or third plate. Yeah, you like to have all the different plates, right? You have the 5x7. I have several. I started out with, I think it's called the student size. It was a 5x5, and then I think I bought the 5x7 because I could use a coupon to get it. Then Carrie, she's one of my followers, sent me, because I had it on my wish list, the 8x10. And then the 12x12, I went to my local Hobby Lobby and found it there. They're really low price, so I just went ahead and bought it. All right, so the gold should be just about dry. See, it's coming off on my fingers. So I'm going to give it just a little bit longer. Of course, it's a metallic paint, so sometimes it takes a little bit longer to dry. So I'm just going to set that aside for a second. And let's go back to the roses one again. And we did that lavendery color. So I've got a little bit darker purple. Oh, I've got some metallic paint. So I'm going to do this metallic paint. I'm going to put a little bit of it right in the middle. Again, you want to use a small amount. Don't go crazy. So I'm going to put a little bit of this hyacinth on here. And then I want a little bit of this, what is this one? This is light turquoise. Okay. All right. I want a little bit of that turquoise to come out through the whole thing, so. All right, let's see what happens. I got paint all over me. All right. Oh, that's a long ways for Hobby Lobby. Mine really close, like, I don't know, 3 miles, not even, to the one closest to me. I haven't been in months. 2 sides of they did, see, and that's just it. You know, we'll go in and buy stuff from Hobby Lobby, but they don't have the same kind of point of sale system, so they really know what they're selling a lot of. If it's still on the shelf, then they discontinue it, even though they may have already sold several of them. If you want Hobby Lobby to continue to offer things, you have to go in and buy them. Oh, this is pretty. All right, so there, you got a little bit of that shimmer in the middle. That turned out pretty. That'll be a pretty background paper. Yep, and you can order it online. That's true as well. Oh, good. I'm glad you like this, you know, coming today. So, you know, gel printing is just a matter of practice. You just kind of have to play with your gel plate and your paint to see what happens. Wait, I don't want to do that. I think I want to stamp something else on there. Let's see what else I have. Oh, I've got the butterfly stamps, and I have this different rose stamp. Let's get out these butterflies. I've got, this is the medium butterfly. Let's do it. I've used it before, and I like this size, so why am I trying to put that over there? You can go right there. I'm just going to use the other side of the block. And again, use the archival ink. And I'm going to rotate this guy every so often. Let's do it this way again, maybe. All right, and then I've got, this is the leaf and berry branch. So I'm just kind of filling in. Of course, you could also do a direct to paper where you paint the paper whatever color you want the background to be and then stamp on top of it. If you need me to do that, we could. In fact, that's maybe what I'll do. I'm going to let this dry. I'm going to get a book page, okay, and let's get a couple of colors of paint. So I'm just going to put down a little bit of that turquoise, a little bit of that lavender, some of this blue, and now I may need more paint than I've put on here, so I'm going to start with this. Okay, so now you've got your background painted with a brayer. I'm going to use my heat tool only on the paper, not on your gel plate. You like that? What kind of ink? Oh, ink. I'm using Archival Ink Jet Black by Ranger. Okay. All right, so this should be dry enough. So now, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab my butterfly and stamp it. Just kind of filling in. Okay, and then I'll grab the, where'd it go? There it is. The branch, berries, whatever. All right, so there's where we just stamp directly over the acrylic paint. Okay, your bees would be on those. Yeah, adding a little bit of the words in the background. All right, so let's go back to this one, and we're going to do the same colors. We'll do this turquoisey, a little bit of the hyacinth, and a little bit of this light blue. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can create your own journal pages, you know, create your own patterns, if you will. If you don't have scrapbook paper, you can just kind of play with paint and stamps and stencils and see what you come up with. Okay. All right, let's see what we get. So there it is. I had too much paint in a couple of spots, so it's a little bit grungy looking, but you can kind of get the same idea, right? I mean, it just kind of depends on your artistic mood, which way you want to go. The beehive stamp is red rubber, and they'll come on cling. So it'll be red rubber, and it'll have cling on it. They are not poly. And then my rubber stamps that I have in my shop, I have the Beeline Designs, and then I have mine, which are gray laserable rubber. I use a laser to cut these or engrave the rubber. Okay. Do you like that? What else you want to see today? I showed you the, yeah, don't use clear. All right, let's come back to this one. That should be plenty dry. And I've got white paint. Let's use the white. I'm going to shake it really well. Wow, that's too much paint, Linda. All right. We're using the paint to lift the previous colors of paint. Okay. Okay, grab a book page, put that in the middle. Kind of get that pressed in. Use another page to pick up some of the crusty bits on the edges. Okay, one more. Make a couple of things. Poke, poke, nudge, nudge. All right. Well, let's see what we could make. This is just the grungy bits. Okay. Super grungy bits. All right, let's see what this looks like. All right, so we used 2 different stencils in the corners, and I did a rubber stamp and then lifted that with white paint. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Sherry, if they aren't sticking, try washing them with a little bit of a mild soap like Dawn soap or something, and let them air dry without being stuck to anything. Just let them face put this way up. So what I'll usually do is just kind of clean it. Got a little too much water. I'll clean it, and then I'll wipe it off, and then I'll just let it air dry and see if that doesn't work. If it doesn't work, you can pick up something like the best glue ever, and you can just put a thin coat on the back and let it air dry, and it'll be sticky again. That's what I did on this one because it had lost its sticky. So you can probably see the lines where the glue was, and it makes it stick to anything, so it doesn't have to necessarily be an acrylic block. So that's what I do. There used to be a product, I don't know if they still make it, but Aleene's used to have a product called Aleene's Tack It Over and Over. Another product you could use is called a two-way glue. I don't know if I have any left. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see it in my thing. I may have, oh, I know where it is. It might be in here. Nope, not in there. Ah, here we go. Two-way glue by Zig. So it's like a little pen, and you pump it to get the glue to come out. But if you put this glue on a surface and let it air dry, then it's tacky like a sticky note. And you can use that as well on your rubber stamps. I don't know if I have a link to the two-way glue or not. Does that help? All right, so is it time for the raffle? That's what she was telling me. The bee stencil, you like the bee stencil? I don't know if I have it out. Where did I do? Those are bee and honeycomb stencils. Here we go. There's the bee stencil and honeycomb stencils. All right, let's do this. This is the super small, and where is I'm missing one. Where is it? Well, you don't go in there. Huh. Okay, there's the small. Okay, there it is. That was the one I was looking for. I don't know if I want it or the bigger one. All right, let's get the smaller one. All right, so this is the super small stencil, and I've got the bee stencil that I'm just now. Your stencil will have a frame around the edge, I think, because I've updated. This is my prototype. All right. So here's what we want. We want to put down the bees first. Okay. And let's make those that burnt umber color. So we'll put a little bit And then we're going to do the raffle. Just a moment. Okay. Filling in. All right, so I'm going to clean off that. I've got a little bit of this gold paint. All right, so I'm going to lift paint out of that bee just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to come back and pounce some gold. Okay. I may brayer over this again. All right, I'm going to peel this stencil up and give this a moment to dry. And we'll do the raffle. You just got the bee stencil, yay! All right, I'm going to set that aside to dry for a moment. And we're going to raffle off these two little journal cards. And you like that? Okay. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Gotta clean my sponge a little bit. Set this over here. Dry my hands. Dry, gel plate, dry. I may have taken off too much of the brown, but we'll see how it looks. Okay. The heart mandala, maybe, if I can find it. All right, let's give away these two little journal cards. And hey, Raven, I'm so glad you're here. I saw that you entered the raffle. All right, and Terry, hello, Terry. Pick a winner. Robin, Sisamaya? I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I really apologize. Hey, I don't recognize your name, so if you'll do me a big, big, big favor, go over to my website, lindaisrael.com, create a user account, input your address, your mailing address, and then use the contact me form and say, hey, I'm Robin over on Facebook or on YouTube. Sorry, I don't know what platform I'm on apparently. And I won the notes journal cards, and I'll get those sent out to you, okay? All right. Well, congratulations. You're very welcome. All right, let's reset that. And I've got a mini journal. All right. So in this giveaway, put these out of the way so I don't get them paint on it. I've got a little giveaway of a mini journal that I made during one of my live streams. I made a whole bunch of little journals, decorated them, and so this is going to be one of those little mini journals. All right, let me put some more lotion on my hands. And let's see if this gel, but y'all enter the raffle. All right, you want me to use which stencil? The heart mandala stencil. All right, I can't remember if I put heart stencils. Okay, good. So we'll look here. Super cute hearts, hearts up and downs, little hearts, hearts with flair. These would be masks, Julie, my big heart stencils. Folk heart stencil, arrows. Well, I don't know where my heart mandala is. It must be the last one. Ah, there it is. Good job. We found it. We'll get that one out. Okay. Let's come back to the bees. We got the bees. And now we've got the honeycomb. All right, so for the honeycomb, I really want a different shade of yellow. I think this one will be good. All right, so I've got this deep yellow, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some over here on my palette as soon as I can get the lid open. Ugh, had it stuck. Sometimes I can peel those out. Dadgum. Ugh, it didn't want to come out at all. All right, we'll just put a little bit of paint right here. And I need a little bit of some ivory with it. So I'm going to mix an ivory with it to kind of help tone it down. So I've got a little palette knife. So I'm just going to kind of tones it down just a smidge. Okay. And there should be enough paint there that when I use my brayer to pick it up and I go in behind here, okay, all right, then we're going to lift it and we're going to let that dry, and I'll grab my 5x7 and show you the heart mandala stencil. Okay. All right, we're going to want that. Boop. All right, so we got my 5x7 and we got the heart mandala, so I'm just going to put it to where it's kind of coming out, fading out there. And you know what? I've got this yellow paint here. I'm going to use a little bit of it. And let's get a little bit of green. Okay. Lift that off and let that dry for a moment. Or we could print it if we work quickly. Let's see what happens. I kind of let it dry too much, but it's still a neat pattern that you can see in there. All right, I'll clean it off. Let me get the stencil back out. Rinsing in the water. If you put it in the water really quickly after you've used it, then the paint doesn't stick to your stencils really bad. And generally, I can kind of just swish them around in my little tub. Robin and you are twins. Okay. All right, let's put this back on here. I'm going to kind of see, where did I have it? Okay, that looks right. Okay, so this time I'm going to use a darker color. Let's use this, ooh, I've got this color. This will make it show up. This is Island Blue. And I've got this purple I've been wanting to use, and I haven't used it yet, so I don't need a lot of it. All right, so I'm going to take some of that purple. All right, so I used a lot of paint, so I could hopefully get a quick print going direct. Okay. But what if you want to use that stencil several times? Oh, well, you can. It's just going to have paint stuck to it. So I usually will clean mine off if I want to use it again. Kind of depends on what you're doing, what kind of technique you're using. How's that? That's a lot better color-wise, isn't it? You got a little bit of the purple around the edge. You like that? Okay. that turned out better than this color because it was so pale you couldn't see it. But now you can see it. And I drew that. So I drew little hearts and I just kept playing with and making little designs all the way through it. Thank you. And look, there's still some paint on here. So now I'm going to put down some ivory paint. Okay. I got choked all of a sudden. All right. Let's put that down. Well, then just clean it. Yeah, I usually clean mine when I use paint or if I use Distress Oxide inks. Generally, the Tattered Angels, I don't really mind unless I know for sure that I want a clean color. I don't want it to be muddled with anything else. Then I will rinse my stencils off. And that way I know when I use different colors of Tattered Angels, whatever color that is will be what you get the results of. Okay. So now we've got this print to go with this print. And actually, if I turned it this way, you can see that it matches up. It looks kind of cool with that muted, where this is the vibrant and this is a little bit grungier looking. All right, so let's pull this honeycomb and bee. And I think what I want to do is I've got a little bit of this darker gold paint left. Let me see if that's what I want. I'm going to put a little bit of my palette and I'm going to add a little bit. I want a little bit of brown in it, I think. Not much. Just to make it a little bit darker than that yellow that's on there. So I didn't put too much brown in there, but I just got a little bit. All right, so now we're just going to come in here. And the idea is we're just trying to reactivate the other layers of paint. And we're filling in basically the honeycomb frame. Okay. Oh, I got to get a journal page or a book page. Let's see how this turns out. And then we'll make something. We'll flip back through all of the gel prints and we'll see which one is good to make something out of it. All right, what do you think? We made our bees. They're happy bees. Oh yeah, in the Alice journal. Yep. Okay. You want? Yeah, it'll be good in the Alice. Yep, just wipe them off. Do the same with the inks. I like the way that turned out. Let's put that over there. What could we make with that? I kind of like, let's make a couple of tags. So let me grab a couple of things and move a couple of things off my desk so I have a little bit of elbow room. You like that? That turned out pretty good, didn't it? I probably should have done a little bit lighter color for the innards of the honeycomb to really depict honey and then made it a different color for the outside, but I think it looks pretty good. All right, so somewhere over here. I'm just going to get some rubber stamps out. Move that out of the way. Put that in my water. Okay. Put this over here out of the way. I was just getting a couple of rubber stamps. I was trying to think of what I wanted to use this on. You know, I have a couple of envelopes here. Let's see what I've got. I've got a couple of, I got an envelope. Let's use that. I've got a brown card. All right. So here's what I'm going to do, I think, is I want to cut these. They are 6 inches. So if I cut this at 3 inches, I can have some 3-inch tags. Okay, so we'll have those 2. I don't think I want to do 4. And I want to put something on here as well. So I'm thinking I'm going to cut this apart. And then I'm going to tear this apart. I don't think I need 2. Let's do this. You know what? We'll get out the, I need the rubber stamp. And I moved them the other day. And that's not them. Okay. No, that's not them either. Aha! I knew if I kept looking. This is the Honeycomb Wire Duo, I think it is. It's a rubber stamp by Beeline Designs. And I thought what we would do is I've got this archival ink. It's sepia. Get this out. Okay. So I got this sepia. I don't want ink to transfer to the back of my tag or card. So I'm going to put down a piece of paper that will soak up the excess ink. And we're going to stamp this. Okay, I'll do that again. Okay, I'm going to leave this out because I want to change the color of this guy. And I think what I want to do is do it with Tattered Angels. So I'm going to open the envelope. Just going to, ooh, that turned out kind of pretty. I want to save that. Yeah, we'll just do this one. So I'm looking for a neutral color. I've got, oh, let's see here. That's Craft and Walnut Gold. Let's see if these, I didn't clean my Tattered Angels up the last time I used them, so sometimes they don't spray. Just cleaning that nozzle just in case. Nope, not going to spray. Let's see if this one will. Ah, this is Craft. I just want to give it a little bit of a color so it's not so stark white. And then here I've got So Bronze, so it's a bronzy color. Okay, and we're going to dry it real fast. Okay, it's not perfectly dry, but it's dry enough. So I'm going to get out the archival ink, and we're going to touch it to the envelope in a couple of spots. This is still a little tacky on this side. I think I could get away with this. There. Don't want it to stick closed, so I just opened it back up. All right, so we put a little bit of the archival ink on here. I think we need to make that into a tag shape. So I have a little card that a while back I cut the corners of it so I could use it as a guide to cut off the corners to make a tag. Okay, so we got a little tag there. And we'll use I see some fabric. Let me see if there's enough in there. If I can reach it. If I can reach it! I don't know if there's enough that I can cut this into. Well, I can use a stapler, maybe, since I don't have a sewing machine out. All right, so we got those, and we've got this little guys. I'm just kind of ripping the edge. That was kind of a straight edge. So I just kind of tore that a little bit. So if we were to put that B on here. Tearing away. Okay. So there. And then I'm going to use one of these on the envelope. Okay. I'm not looking up yet, sorry. All right, so now I've got another little bee there. Okay, I'm kind of liking this. I think I want something else, so I'm going to look for a text stamp. Oh yeah, and there's the beehive stamp. You know what? Let's do this. Let's see how big that is. I may regret this, but what if we stamp part of this beehive kind of in the corner here? That looks kind of cool, doesn't it? Over there in the corner. All right, we're done with this. Oh, well, I can use this one. This is like a receipt or something that I can't remember, but I think what I want is some black. Okay, and then let's get these numbers. Just kind of adding a little bit of a something, grunging it up, okay? All right, let's pop that back up here out of the way. Get this out of the way. All right, so we're going to put this guy on here, and one on here, and one on here. And I think I only need one of these, but maybe what I'll do is cut it like so. So we're going to use that. And we need some kind of word on here, don't we? You loving these bee things? Let's put some distress inks around the edges while I contemplate what else I'm going to put on this little tag. I've got my word stamps out. So how about I do this? I'm going to slide everything over. And if you see, let me get it out of the plastic. There may still be a glare. But if you see one that you think I should use, just type it out there and say, hey, use the journal or use the on this day or something like that. Remember, we're going to tag, so we're going to have the smaller words. I also have the small word set of the journal. It's on the back side. You can't see it. Okay. You're liking this? Okay. Southern Norma just won a whole bunch. So I'm just going to go around the edges with distress ink. I think I need another piece of paper. So maybe what I'll do is if I get a book page, we can use that in our background. All right, let's do the envelope. Be the light, you like that one? You can add an additional B if you want. Sorry, I didn't mean to cover up the words. I uncovered them. All right, now envelope. There we go. It started to glue itself shut, so I had to rough it up just a bit. All right, we kind of grunge that up just a little bit, so that'll be good. All right, so be the light. That might be a good one. Okay. Let me get my little strips of paper. We'd also could do Live, Laugh, Love. I think that would be a good one to use as well. And I think, would this be big enough? Maybe. Here we go. Okay, be the light. I save the little strips of paper whenever I trim an edge off, and so I have all these little strips that I use. Be, get it? Oh, thank you, Kathy. Thank you so very much. Be the light. I'm going to stamp that one more time. Okay. Cut these apart. Okay, we're going to use those. So we're going to have a little bee on here. We're going to put these guys. Okay, trying to see where you can see. This is going to be on the tag. So we're going to do be the light. We need something else. So I know Robin doesn't like cheesecloth, but I think this might give us kind of a neat look. And we need another color. So what color? How about a tealy color, right? Let's lay that there. All right, let's see what I can find. Ah, maybe this one. So I got from the Under the Sea collection. I still have a few of those left in my shop. So I've got Ocean and Waves. All right, now, come on, behave. My chair's catching. And so these are two little shades of turquoisey color. So I'm just going to add a little bit. This bottle's almost empty. Okay, I'll add a little bit of heat to dry it. The sewing lamb hit the floor, but he's not getting used. We got to get a little bit of cheesecloth. All right, so let me get my scissors. I just happened to see this piece laying here, so I'm just going to get a couple of little pieces here so we can use those. Maybe where this is coming off the corner. I think I like the idea of doing it at a diagonal. Okay. So let's add some Distress Inks to Be the Light. And we might need one more thing. We're going to have fabric that we use at the top. So if I put that right here. What else do we need on there? We need to put a saying on this one. So I guess I'll go ahead and do Be the Light again. Why not? Yeah, it just adds a little bit to it. All right, let's do this one. I'm going to move this over a little bit. I think that's good. What else could we put on there? I think I may need another book page. So what if we grab a book page and I get my ruler out. I'm going to tear off this edge and then I'll just cut or tear a strip. And I probably just should have torn it to begin with. So, do we need another little contrast piece? I'm just adding some Distress Inks here. Maybe something like that. I don't really want to read what it says, so, you know, we're kind of obscuring it just a little bit. I think it needed that to kind of balance things out just a little bit. Yes? No? Maybe? All right, I got trash here. We're getting rid of. Okay. And we'll put a piece over here. What'd you say? What, glad? Oh, thank you, Cricket. Yay! I'm so glad you liked her stuff that Robin passed along. Oh, Robin's going to do another one. Oh, and don't be offended if you got a gift from Robin or even me, and you decide after a while you don't want it, well then pass it along to somebody else. That is perfectly fine to do that. If you win one of my journals, you're welcome to take it apart, use it some other way, pass it along to someone else, okay? All right, I think that's what I needed. So I'm going to start gluing this down, and I may have some bling. I know you like the bling. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to glue this piece together just so I have where I think I want it. I'm going to put a little bit of glue under that cheesecloth to help hold that down. And then we'll glue this whole thing down. Okay. All right, and then this guy is going to go, let's put him kind of right here. What do you think? Ah, you keeping it? Alrighty, well, you like today's projects? Using the gel plate to make some background papers and using rubber stamps and stencils. You got a variety of things you can do. A little yellow strip here. Let's go away. All right, glue that down. And then we'll glue this whole thing together. Okay. Blue daisies. I kind of got that cattywampus, but that's okay. I got an idea. Since you said daisies, I have okay. Work the best. So we're gonna uh-oh. Okay, am I back? Did you get my sound? Plugged myself when I got up. All right, that's too big. But I've got some of these little flowers. I've got these little green pieces and a couple of little yellow. I don't know. I don't know if I like those. They aren't the right thing. They're not the right thing. Maybe something like that. What do you think? You like that? Okay. Yeah, I unplugged the sound. Sorry, guys. All right, let's glue this one down. So we're going to glue these two pieces together. And let's glue this down. Okay. Put the bling in the middle of the flower. Okay. All right, let's put this piece down right here. And then let's put this guy down. I guess we could put a flower over here too. This is a different color, but I think it would go. And I think I'm still going to put the yellow, and then I'll put some bling on top of that. Okay, let's get rid of these. Little flowers. I've had these forever, so I'm finally using them. Okay, let's glue those down and find some bling. Oh, it's falling on me. Comes crashing down. All right, so we're going to glue this piece. And I just thought of one other thing I could put down, but let me see. Do I have? I do have. I've got some green thread here. So I'm just going to make kind of a little nest out of it. And I'm going to pick up this flower that I just glued down. There. That gives it a little bit of a green right behind there. So we added some colors. We've elevated the colors. Okay. All right. I'll cut this one. Put that there. Come on, stick. All right. One more. You like the thread? Just, again, if you've got old thread, this is a perfect way to use it, because if you try to put it in your sewing machine, you're going to be frustrated as all get out. Kind of mush it out a little bit. Stick. Stick, I say, stick. There. All right, so now I'm going to get my ID slot punch. And we're going to punch the top here. And I want to put this in here. So I'm just going to smush it up, get it all ready. Since I don't have my sewing machine, I think I saw, or did I? Yes, I do have a stapler. You know, you make do with what you have. So I'm just going to take my stapler and lay that in here and staple through the paper right here at the top. Oh, thank you, Suzanne, for your donation. Thank you so very much. All right, so we're going to put this one right here. Okay, so we did those. So that got a little more color to it. And then we need to put some bling. And I just saw the right one. I think this is what I want. Okay. I'm going to pop one of these off and put it in the middle. There we go. Ah, don't go. Stay. There. How is that? So now we've got 2 little journal cards and an envelope we could use. I still have pieces left over that I can make something else. Maybe I'll make a card to go inside the envelope that kind of matches. Let's go back through the gel prints that we made today. So I'm trying to go back to the beginning. Back to the beginning. Oh, I'll show you what I made, but it didn't turn out the way I thought. I was playing around with gel medium. I put some gel medium on my plate, and then I sprayed it with Tattered Angels and lifted it. And the page is a little bit sticky, but it has that metallic sheen to it. This one I had too much Tattered Angels on there. I don't know, I was just kind of playing around with, you know, is that something I wanted to do? And this was just cleaning off my gel plate. Let's kind of start from the beginning. So I made that one. It didn't turn out the way we wanted. You know, if you want black, it's best to put black down first in whatever the stencil pattern is, and then put a color over the top of it, because what happens is black changes whatever color you put underneath. So here we put down black first, and then we put the red on top, so that black pops a little better. Does that make sense? Here's just the black. These are all done with stencils that I made. There's a red with gold. And this was the first pull, and this was adding more paint and getting a second pull. And this was using the, what was it, burnt umber, pardon me, and gold together. You like those? And then this was 2 shades of brown, which is, you know, a nice background. You can still write on top of this. This is a muted enough page that if you have a black pen, you could write on top of this. So you could use it as a background paper to write. Oh, thank you, Lori, for your donation. This one was using the different shades of browns again. I think that time I had mixed a little bit of gold with the burnt umber, so it's got a little bit of a metallic sheen. And this was a coral over the mop-up, so it just kind of had an interesting vibe, didn't it? And then here's an orange with one of my Stencil Club stencils again. And then here's mopping up with a little bit of that orange and using a little bit of the ivory. And I think there was a little bit of this coral on here. This one I used 3 different shades of paint and just rubbed this way back and forth. And I printed on a book page I had already painted white. So it mutes that text below. We got some of the crusty bits that were on the gel plate. Here I did 3 different colors again across the stencil, so you kind of get a different vibe. I think it was this way because we did the green going up. This one I did a yellow and coral and brown. And we did it again here, the green. Okay. This one, the red and the gold, yep, that was turned out really pretty. And then this is interesting, you know, this is mopping or picking up through the stencil, and then this was removing the stencil and putting gold paint down and then ivory paint behind it. So you get a whole different look. This was putting black down through the Victorian stencil and then putting ivory behind it, but it wasn't quite dry yet, so it kind of made this a little bit of a gray print. Thank you so much, Suzanne. This is the ribbon rose with turquoise on a painted paper. And this is the small rose, I think is what it's called, with a bit of that peachy color. And then here's where I rubber stamped on my gel plate and painted over the top of it and pulled it. Here's another one. And here's another one. And here's another one. And this one I painted directly on the paper, then I stamped. And then here's where I did a gel print by putting the stamped images on the gel plate, putting the paint behind it. So you get a different look. You can get a little bit grungier look when you do. Thanks. Bye, Norma. Thanks for being here. When you do it on the gel plate. And then here was using different stencils in the corners and a rubber stamp to get a pretty background. This one didn't turn out very well because I picked the wrong color to go on a book page. You can't quite see it. But when I redid it in a different color, you could really see it. This is where it was the solid color, the first pull, and this is where I added more paint to get a second pull out of it. And the last one we made was the bees. Okay. Thank you so very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, I think this is the last call for the raffle. We're going to give away this mini journal card. Oh, you're so close, Morgan. You need 20 more junk bucks. All righty. We're going to pick a winner here of the little mini journal. And then my tags that I made. I think this turned out cute. Cute, cute, cute. All right, let's put that over there. Is everybody in? All right, the winner of the mini journal is Lori Merchant. Congratulations, Lori. I'll send that out to you. Congratulations. Let's reset that. All right. Did I see that we made it to our goal for the journal today? For this journal right here? I want to make sure we did. Oh, get in the boss fight. Here, I may even get in the boss fight. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I lose. Y'all win my junk bucks. Congratulations. All right. I didn't see. Are we official? Okay, we have one journal. All right, awesome. So let me get my text. Copy that. And come back over here and giveaway and clear that and open giveaway. All right, so these people have donated today, and that is Lori Merchant, Suzanne Roberts twice. Thank you, Suzanne. Kathy Orlando, Janice Brammer, Sherry Deskins, Cricket, Morgan, Linda Gray, the Mrs. Edmondson, and Robin. So thank you so much for being here today. I'll quickly go through this journal so that those of you that have donated can get in on the raffle. Remember, if you made a donation today, go over to my website, lindaisrael.com, and let me know that you participated. If you haven't already created a user account, please do, and I will get you added to the I got 24 junk bugs. I will get you added to the YouTube donator membership on my website. Thank you so much, Kathy. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you learned a lot. Thank you. And I will get you added, and you get a discount as well as some freebies in my shop, as well as today you enter in the raffle for the journal here at the end. All right, so this is a Blue Bonnets journal that I made with the leftovers that I had from making the journal last week. And so the cover is a linen cardstock that's printed on both sides. I used my little label punch to put a little, I thought it was a unique closure on the front. I wanted it to be a little bit stronger. So in a sense, we've got 3 layers of cardstock because I folded it over the edge and then punched the hole and then put the fabric that I stitched on through here. This is one of my gel print digital downloads that I printed out onto a scrap of paper and made into a pocket. There's the inside. This is handmade paper, so I took lots of shredded paper. I'm going to have another handmade paper session soon. It'll be inside. So Jennifer, you could come. In fact, Jennifer, you may message me if you've got a weekend that you want to come do that. And I've made handmade paper and tore it to be the size of a journal pocket. I stamped on it. I used a scrap of paper that was painted with Distress Oxides. We've got a piece of cheesecloth. This is from the Tiny Journal Quartet, and this is one of Norella's Bluebell images. Over here, I did a stenciling on a junior legal note paper. This is torn off of one of the journal pages. This is one of the fussy cuts, and then this is a mixed media paper that I have here down the side. Over here, this is a gel print that I put down in the background because it was blue, and I thought, well, it works. And then I had another scrap of paper here, and then this was torn off of another journal page, and I thought, well, why not? This is just scrapbook paper cardstock that I had in my stash that I thought, well, it's blue. I'm just going to stick it in here. More of the pages from Norella. Here I rubber stamped it, one of Norella's images. When you see the chance, take it, says here. I've had a very busy week. Thank you, Jennifer. Here I stamped and then used Norella's images with my rubber stamp here. Another one of Norella's images that I tore and attached to a piece of sheet music. And then I had this trim, so I just stuck some trim on that page. It was all I had left. This was a piece of this text weight paper that was used over here, but I had a strip of it. So I just stamped it with the twirling ribbon border. And then this was just a blank journal card that I had, and I stamped and watercolored the sketched wildflowers, and this is a rubber stamp, and this is the henna rose in the background. A little bit more cheesecloth. Over here I kind of collaged, so I took one of the journal pages that had lines and kind of tore it so that I could get little pieces, and I tore it for something else, and this was the scraps. So I put the scraps over here. Another one of Norella's pages that I printed as a smaller size. Whenever I go into my Windows Explorer, I right click and find print, and then that pulls up like a photo printing options. And so I will tell it like 8 by 10 or 5 by 7, and that will shrink that image just a little bit. It's kind of a fun way to do that. Thank you, Julie. Stenciled on the background. This is one of my rubber stamps. It's kind of a collage butterfly that Beverly has created. And this is the twirling ribbon in the corner. So instead of, going all the way up the page, I just did a little bit of the corner. And then use the Butterfly Beauties cube. This was paper that I dyed with Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist. I've got a tutorial that shows how to do that. Here I had some scrapbook paper that was cut from another project. So I just left it as a long skinny piece and folded it over and added one of Norella's images. And here's another one of my gel prints that actually matches the one that was used back in the front of the journal. And one of Norella's images here, book page. And then this was a clothing tag that I covered with book page and colored and just kind of played with. This is one of my scrapbook pieces here. Another one of Norella's images. More scrapbook paper here. I was just trying to use things up. Okay. Here, this is just a strip of paper that I glued over a smaller piece of paper, and I glued a gel print on or mixed media print on the other side, so it was kind of a sandwich. And when I glued it, I only glued the top and then down the spine, so it kind of created a simple tuck. And then this is an envelope that I've put a piece to kind of cover where the flap of the envelope was cut apart. And then you can see the envelope in there, just a journal card, and then the front of the envelope. It was an envelope that I had that was in a bunch of old papers, and it was glued shut, so it was just old. Journal page, book page here. This kind of tucks in. So it's another way to add additional writing space in your journal and have some pretty paper kind of poking out. And another one of Norella's papers. I put that in the dead center. I did have a flower and the little dragonfly charm. Is everybody in the raffle? Y'all done with me showing you all of this? This is scrapbook paper, and I just kind of added a little bit of decoration to it. And that goes here. And sticker, butterfly sticker. And I made another little clothing tag that I covered with paper, one of Norella's little pockets. And we're getting to the back of the journal. There's the other half of that rubber stamp. Another collaged page. And then another journal pocket. We're almost to the end. Almost! And then I made, this was a Hewlett-Packard card that I covered with some papers. And I thought it turned out really cute. I wanted to keep this journal. I should never show y'all. And then this is some ledger paper that I folded in half and trimmed it to fit. So that's one of my digital downloads. And then there's a pocket right here with a tag in it. And then over here is another pocket. And this is the back of the journal. And then it ties shut. All right. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. I hope that you had fun today. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people in the... I think we're having internet issues. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Who am I missing? Robin is in. Cricket, are you in? Yep. Suzanne, did you get in? Yep, you did. And Sherry's in. Jennifer, I thought I saw your name. Yep, you're the first one. Linda Gray is in. Janice Brammer is in. Kathy, did Kathy have to leave? We're waiting on Kathy. You're very welcome. All right, let's pick the winner here. I'm waiting just another second for Kathy in case she's still here. I don't know what I'm going to do next week. There's so much time I have this week to get everything done. I need to continue fussy cutting the Gothic kit. I started fussy cutting that the other day, so we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and pick the winner. The winner is Robin. Robin, you won. Congratulations. And she wanted to win last week, so she got this one. Thank you, Robin, for your dedication to helping me during my live streams. I greatly appreciate you. I know you're tired. You're ready to get off here. And thank you, everybody else, for being here. And like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do next week. It may be another play session. It just kind of depends how much time I have to get prepared, because it does take me some prep time to get everything ready for a live stream. Alrighty, when I'm making a full journal. All right, I'm going to get off here. Go have some dinner with my husband. He should be home shortly if he isn't already in the other room. You're very welcome. I hope y'all have an amazing week. Do something fun, do something creative, and share it with someone else in your life, whether it be a complete stranger or a family member or friend or something like that. And, you know, just kind of bring some light and be the light, as we said on our little envelope and tags today, and be encouraging to somebody else. I thank you so very much for being here. Y'all take care. Lots of love. Bye, everybody.